Hello guys, today I'm going to be showing you 3 different ways you can use to create buttonholes using your manual sewing machine. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. So I'll be illustrating with this piece of fabric you see here, and the first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to mark where I'll be placing the button. So I'm going to go ahead to first of all mark the length of the buttonhole first. Then I'll go ahead to draw 2 vertical lines that are very close to each other. The gap between the 2 lines should be very small. So after marking the lines, this is what it is going to look like. You should have something like this once you're done marking the point where you'll be inserting the buttonhole. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to take it over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to go ahead to start stitching. For the stitching, I'm going to go ahead to stitch to the edge of the line I drew with my sewing machine like you see me doing in the video. So once I get to the end, I'm going to go ahead to turn it like this. Then I'm going to go ahead to stitch twice with my sewing machine like this. After stitching twice, I will turn it over again. Then I'll go ahead to stitch back to the beginning of the line I drew again like you see me doing in the video. So once I'm at the beginning of the line, I'm going to go ahead to turn it over and stitch twice again. Then I'll go ahead to repeat this process 3 to 4 times like you see me doing in the video. So when stitching your buttonhole, make sure you use a matching thread. I'm using a contrasting color so that you get to see what I'm doing clearly. After stitching, this is what you are going to be having, so make sure you have a little space in between the stitch. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to create a hole on that little space I have in between the stitch using my seam ripper. So I'm going to go ahead to fix my seam ripper into the space I have in between. Then I'll go ahead to open it up. But if you don't have a seam ripper, you can simply go ahead to use your scissors to do this, but be careful so you don't cut through the seams you have. So after I was done creating the hole, this is what the hole is going to look like. This is what you should have once you're done doing this. So next you're going to go ahead to move over to the next step. So for the next step, the first thing you're going to go ahead to do is to get a small piece of fabric like this. Then you go ahead to place it on the good face of your button allowance. After which you go ahead to secure it with your pins like you see me doing in the video. So once you're done securing it with your pins, the next thing you're going to go ahead to do is to mark where you want the buttonhole to be. So I'm just going to go ahead to use my chalk to create a mark like you see me doing in the video. So once I'm done creating this mark, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to move over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to go ahead to stitch it all the way around. But this time I'll be stitching just once. I'm going to stitch all the way around like you see me doing in the video. So after stitching, this is what you are going to be having once you're done stitching. This is what you should have. The next you're going to go ahead to do is to fold it into 2 like this. Then you go ahead to create your hole in between the stitch with your scissors like you see me doing in the video. So once you're done doing this, next you're going to go ahead to do is to pull out the lining you have on the good face to the wrong face like you see me doing in the video. So after pulling the lining to the wrong face, this is what it is going to look like. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to run a top stitch close to the buttonhole to keep the lining in place. So once I'm done top stitching, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to trim off the excess lining I have on the wrong face of the fabric. So after trimming, this is what the buttonhole is going to look like. So next you're going to go ahead to move over to the third method. So this third method is similar to the second method. So I'm just going to go ahead to get my piece of fabric, and I'll place it at the point where I want to create the buttonhole. After which I'll go ahead to pin it down like you see me doing in the video. So once I'm done pinning it down, I'm going to go ahead to mark where I want the buttonhole to be. After which I'll take it to my sewing machine, and I'll go ahead to stitch it all the way around like you see me doing in the video. So after stitching, the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to create the buttonhole using my scissors like I did for the second method. After which I'll go ahead to pull the lining through the hole to the wrong face of the fabric. So after pulling, the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to keep the lining in place with my hemming gun. Remember, for the second step we top stitch it, but this step I'm going to go ahead to keep the lining in place with my hemming gun. So after I was not keeping the lining in place with the hemming gum, this is what the buttonhole is going to look like. As you can see, it's looking so neat and it came out really nice. So if this video was helpful to you, please don't forget to like, subscribe and drop a comment. Thank you for watching.